Spoiler alert here, but Leica cameras and lenses, they're expensive. Like really stupidly expensive. I think that most of us like to think that we are getting something a little bit special when we drop 6 big stacks on a camera or a lens from Germany. And at the end of the day, as somebody who owns a Leica camera, I don't think they represent tremendously good value, but that's not why you buy a Leica camera. But I do think that you can at least rationalize with yourself to some degree the purchase. So I don't think cameras and lenses, that's not where they get you. Where they get you, it's the accessories and the other stuff. So let's talk about it. So today we're gonna take an interesting and expensive detour down the rabbit hole of Leica accessories. So as I was perusing the Leica website, the first thing that caught my eye was the Leica Zenga keychain. So I'm gonna show you guys these things as I'm talking about them, but immediately I was struck by the name of the color of the keyring. It's Vicuna. How bougie is that, right? So get this keychain will strengthening pride in ownership and experiencing a Leica camera like never before. Pela Tuesta is a trademark specialty that will appeal to the elegant and style-conscious photographer. This keyring reflects a new approach to luxury, discretion, and craftsmanship and quality. Can you believe that? All of that from a keychain. So what's that gonna set you back, right? A Leica keychain. It's an expensive brand. 50 bucks, 75 bucks. No, $250. So the Leica Zenga keychain in Vicuna will set you back $250. As a brand new Leica owner, I wanted to take a look at their site and see what sort of camera bags they had to offer. So staying in line with the Zenga nomenclature from before, we have the Leica Zenga Instapak, again, Vicuna, whatever that means. So here's what they've got to say about the Instapak. The Instapak was designed so that it can be combined with fashionable outfit to highlight the design of the Leica camera. The wearer can mix the Instapak with a casual or chic style. I'm just going out all the time, not even able to take my Leica off my shoulder because I feel like I'm so underdressed. So it is a really nice looking sling backpack. It is made of leather and they've got lots more to say about the specifications and the quality of it, and it's all very nice. So what would a Leica leather sling set you back? $500? $300? No, $900, discreetly priced, $995. As near as makes no difference, $1,000 for this camera sling. Woo! Another thing that caught my eye as I was looking at the Leica website was their ball head. Another thing that caught my eye as I was browsing Leica's website was their ball heads. They are a very nice looking design, rather simple, very elegantly designed, and they honestly look like they are actually very high build quality, all machined metal. So I was looking at one of their ball heads here, the Leica Ball Head 18 series, short black. And they've cut the flowery language on this ball head and instead give you a list of its specifications. So this ball head from Leica, $315. And for that price, you're getting basically no features. This is just a very simple photography ball head. It's not a fluid video head. Doesn't come with the tripod. It doesn't come with the legs built in. This is just the head that you screw on the top of the tripod that you already have. So very, very expensive. And for my money, these days, there's so many companies out there that make great tripods at a really low price. In fact, I reviewed a cheap carbon fiber tripod from a Chinese company on my channel a couple of years ago, and that thing is still doing really, really well. The thing was $69. The ball head, just like this one, was machined aluminum. Much better tripod, the whole tripod, and only 69 bucks. So let's use some common sense. It's no secret that camera manufacturers make money on accessories more broadly. Heck, I bought a new battery for my Sony camera recently, and it was 50 bucks. So that made me curious, what's a battery for the M10 cost? So a lithium-ion battery pack for the M10 would be $200. So insanely expensive. So again, really, really expensive. You just can't convince me that they're doing something special or magical with this battery that one of these cheap companies from China isn't doing just as well for 1/20th of the price. It's like a hammer, and I think I've gave this example on the channel before. Like a hammer is just a hammer, right? And like at some point you have a hammer that's as good as a hammer can be, right? At some point you can spin and spin and spin and spin and spin on a hammer, but at some point it's just a hammer. It's a very simple device. It's very simple technology. It's very easy for any company to deliver a high quality product at a reasonable price, given that the technology is so simple. And that gets back to the beginning of the video where I was talking about the cameras and lenses, and that I'm not piling on the cameras and lenses all that much because those are complicated instruments. They're complicated devices. These are much more akin to a hammer. Somebody can make this very cheap. The technology involved in in these batteries is so simple, we should be able to deliver these at a much more reasonable price. Which leads me next to lens filters. Almost anytime I get a new lens, I go ahead and buy a UV protective filter to put on the front, especially if it's a lens that I think I'm gonna use a lot, like the 24-70 Sony that I'm shooting this video on. Like the 24-70 Sony that I'm shooting on now, it's got a filter on it, and my 35 1.2 for my Leica, it's got a B+W filter on it as well. So I'm a big believer in filters. It's a great thing to buy, mainly because it keeps you from having to use a lens cap most of the time. You can toss your lens in your bag without the lens cap on, leave the filter on, and rest assured that the front of that lens is going to be protected. But enough about the benefits of using a filter. Let's take a look at Leica's filters. Just a 52mm UV filter. It's a very common filter size, something lots of people are going to be using, and their filter price is $145. Peter McKinnon's variable neutral density filters look at these prices and scoff. Again, really simple technology. This is just a sliver of glass to protect your lens and thread on the front. And what does Leica think that's worth? $145. But that leads me to the next product on my list, and this one's a little more unusual because it's not directly photography related, but I think it gives you a good but I think this product gives you a good insight into what Leica is doing. So recently, Leica announced a product called the Leica Cine 1. So I'm gonna read you a description of what this product is, and you can think to yourself what this is and what you think it's worth. The Leica Cine 1 is an all-in-one entertainment system that delivers authentic home cinema experiences right in your living room. The smart cinema TV captivates with outstanding 4K image resolution, immersive Dolby Atmos surround sound, and unmistakable Leica quality. And admittedly, it looks very nice. It looks like an Apple product almost. Very, very elegant, very sleek. But for all intents and purposes, I think this is a smart TV. But in terms of the specifications of the smart TV, I would expect if this was gonna be a premium product at a premium price, it would probably offer 8K image resolution, but we're offering only 4K. So what would the first Leica smart TV box cost? $1,000 bucks? $2,000 bucks? Those would be extremely expensive prices to me for that kind of product. $9,495 for a Leica Apple TV. $9,495. So what's going on here? Well, as I was looking over these products and making this video, I recall the deal that Leica struck with Panasonic a couple of years ago where they agreed to cooperate on some things. And Leica and Panasonic have actually been collaborating for years. If you remember, lots of times with those Micro Four Thirds cameras, we would occasionally see Leica branded lenses from Panasonic. You would even see some Leica cameras in the Micro Four Thirds line that looked suspiciously like Panasonic cameras colored over in crayon. So I don't have any way to verify this, as I expect that about 4 of these TV situations have been sold, but these products seem like more fruits of that partnership with Panasonic. So what you're getting here realistically are Panasonic products with Leica stickers on them. So getting back to the main idea of this video is how does Leica rip you off? And I think it's pretty obvious. You look at some of their products and their strategies, the way they rip you off is through their accessories and rebranding products from other companies in an attempt to raise funds. And it's really hard to fault Leica for these strategies. I mean, if people are buying these things and they're happy with them, good for them. But at the end of the day, most of us consumers are deciding things with our wallet. It's hard for me to envision a world where any of these products represent a compelling value proposition. But let me know in the comments. Are you going to be buying the Leica Cine 1 smart TV situation? Or are you going to be sticking with your Roku box? And if you're interested in actually saving money instead of blowing it, I've got a video to show you how to save some money when shooting film. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.